Sometimes life changes in the most unexpected moments, not with grand plans or careful choices, but through accidents that seem ordinary at first. That's what happened when a single dad, carrying the weight of responsibility and quiet exhaustion, crossed paths with a billionaire CEO who had everything money could buy, yet nothing that truly mattered. Their meeting wasn't planned, yet it felt destined, a spark that neither saw coming but both desperately needed. In that brief encounter, two completely different worlds collided, one built on struggle and survival, the other on power and solitude. And somehow, through that chance connection, both men found something they didn't even know they were searching for: a new beginning, a second chance to rewrite the story of their lives. Sometimes the people we meet by accident are the ones who remind us what it means to truly live again. Life has a way of testing us, breaking us down just enough to make us believe there's no coming back. But then, quietly, it offers us a second chance, a chance to begin again, to see the world through softer eyes. For the single dad, this second chance wasn't wrapped in wealth or success. It came in the form of understanding, kindness, and the unexpected presence of someone who saw him for who he truly was. And for the billionaire CEO, it was a chance to rediscover what really mattered. Not power, not control, but connection. Together, they learned that starting over doesn't mean forgetting the past. It means finding the courage to heal from it. Second chances don't erase the scars, but they remind us that even after the hardest storms, life can still bloom in the most beautiful, surprising ways. Being a father is not just about providing, it's about enduring, about loving so deeply that even exhaustion becomes a kind of devotion. The single dad in this story carried the world quietly on his shoulders, hiding his struggles behind tired smiles and late-night promises whispered to a sleeping child. Every decision he made, every sacrifice, was driven by love. The kind of love that asks for nothing in return. He wasn't a hero in shining armor. He was simply a man doing his best in a world that often forgets the weight of parenthood. Yet in his quiet strength, there was something extraordinary, a tenderness that even the billionaire with all his power could recognize and admire. It was through this father's simple, unwavering love that both their hearts began to change, reminding us that love's truest form is often found in sacrifice. The billionaire had built his life behind walls made of success, control, and the illusion of perfection. He had everything the world admired, yet he lived in quiet isolation, untouched by the warmth of genuine connection. Then came someone who didn't see his title or his wealth, but the loneliness behind his guarded eyes. Slowly, the single dad's presence began to chip away at those walls, not through grand gestures, but through simple honesty and compassion. It wasn't easy, trust never is. But piece by piece, the CEO allowed himself to feel again, to believe that vulnerability wasn't weakness, but strength. Through laughter, shared moments, and quiet understanding, they both discovered that healing often begins where trust is born. And in breaking down those walls, they found something far greater than success. They found each other. Love doesn't ask for permission, and it certainly doesn't check bank balances or social status before it arrives. It simply finds a way, often between people who seem to have nothing in common, but end up sharing everything that truly matters. The single dad and the billionaire came from different worlds, one grounded in struggle, the other cushioned by privilege. Yet somewhere between their contrasts, love quietly took root. It wasn't about luxury or escape. It was about feeling seen, understood, and accepted without judgment. In each other's company, they discovered that love isn't about fixing someone's broken pieces, but about holding them gently while they heal. It taught them that real love doesn't need perfection. It needs presence. And in that shared humanity, they proved that love doesn't just bridge worlds. It creates an entirely new one. In the end, it wasn't the wealth, the success, or even the circumstances that defined their story. It was the quiet decision to start over, together. They learned that home isn't always a place. Sometimes, it's a feeling that grows between people who choose each other despite their pasts. For the single dad, it meant finally breathing without fear, knowing his child had stability and love. For the billionaire, it meant rediscovering joy in the smallest things: shared laughter over breakfast, tiny hands tugging at his sleeve, and the comfort of belonging. Their lives didn't become perfect overnight, but they became real. Beautifully, imperfectly real. Together, they built something money could never buy, a family born not of convenience or status but of choice. Because in the end, love isn't about finding perfection, it's about finding peace and choosing to stay.